Despite strong objections received from several industries, the Department of Home Affairs pushed ahead with the implementation of its new visa rules in June. Just 2 months later, there's been a barrage of complaints about how the rules are affecting the economy, tourism in particular. President Jacob Zuma has now appointed his deputy, Cyril Ramaphosa, to review the new laws.
The announcement the other day from the president was like, hallelujah, fantastic. That was absolute welcome news. We expect that the committee will need to look at all the unintended consequences, or shall we use proper, ordinary language and say, look at the impact of what the regulator has done, since they were brought into implementation.
Under the new laws, parents of all children traveling to or from South Africa must have a copy of an unabridged birth certificate. The rules also require all travelers to South Africa to appear in person at South African embassies or consulates for biometric capturing. According to the tourism industry, many have cancelled their plans to travel to South Africa.
It's just made our country uncompetitive as far as a good holiday destination. And then on the business front, people are just losing business where there should have been face-to-face meetings and deals brokered between companies. It's just that much more difficult for people to get to each other and get into the country. So a lot of business is being lost with people preferring telephonic discussions or just deciding South Africa is not a good place to invest in to go and open a company.
South Africa is struggling in a weak economy. Mining and manufacturing have gone into recession and job losses are mounting. The country cannot afford a decline in tourism. But the Department of Home Affairs says the aim of the new rules is to prevent child trafficking.
It is not that we as an industry are opposed to our government taking some tough stance to make a contribution towards dealing with the issues of child trafficking. We have never objected to unabridged birth certificate being required, but it's when they're required. These are required when you're applying for a passport. Not that you must be traveling with a passport and you must have an unabridged birth certificate on top of that.
Child trafficking generally is an underground kind of thing. It's very rare that you'll find traffickers being blatant and brazen enough to take children through international airports through those kinds of procedures. A lot of it is cross-border road transport occurrences.
South Africa remains an attractive business and travel destination. The weak rand also makes the country a cheap destination, providing good value for tourists. But according to the latest statistics, foreign visitor numbers dropped 6% in the first quarter of this year and declined 5.6% in the last 3 months.
With just a couple of months of this regulation being in, the projections are somewhere between 1.2 and 1.6 billion. So the losses financially are huge. The implications to our reputation as a government deciding, these matters without really taking into account what the impact is going to be on tourism is huge as well.
Ramaphosa will head the interministerial committee comprising the ministers of tourism, home affairs, trade and industry, social development and small business development. It's not clear when the committee will deliver its report and recommendations. In the meantime, the visa laws will remain in place. Sumitra Nydoo, CCTV, Johannesburg.